Coffs Harbour High School is located in the mid-north coast region of New South Wales. The school is situated on Gumbunya country and holds a highly diverse student population. In 2024, there were 796 students enrolled, which consisted of 51% male and 49% female. 9.3% were Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander students, 19% of students from language backgrounds other than English. This suggests many of whom are from refugee backgrounds. Cultural inclusivity and trauma-informed approaches will be essential in the pedagogical design. The school supports a large Sikh community, especially around Coffs Harbour and Woolgoolga. This diversity will require sensitivity to genders that have specific cultural practices, including clothing and participation in physical activity, especially for females. 70% of the students are from low-income families, and therefore financial accessibility and equitable resource use must be considered. The Lighthouse Learning Centre is provided through the school, suggesting some students may be seeking social and emotional support, experiencing mental health challenges, or disrupted school which can impact attendance and participation. The school is focused on improving and raising attendance above 90%. These physical activity determinants have shaped the need for a respectful, all-inclusive approach to teaching games and one that supports cultural identity, student voice, and an equal access to learning. This informs my game choice, pedagogical approach, and key modifications. Here are some key considerations and teaching implications. Coffs Harbour High School has strong diversity in culture, therefore the game sense approach would be the most appropriate games-based pedagogy. The game sense approach is a student-centered model that focuses on tactical awareness, decision-making, and understanding of gameplay through modified games, rather than the traditional approach of isolated drills. This allows the students to engage in the game first without the traditional practice first, game later approach. This is especially suitable for students at Coffs Harbour High School due to the variety of cultural and linguistic backgrounds. The inclusive, collaborative, and inquiry-based nature of the game sense approach will promote student engagement, build communication skills, and foster peer learning. This is critical for students from low English backgrounds. The 4 categories of a game sense approach include target, net or wall, striking or fielding, and invasion or territory. The game sense approach aligns with the New South Wales PDHPE syllabus and the Australian curriculums, movement and physical activity strand of movement, skills and strategies, or understanding movement in the current syllabus, where students develop knowledge of tactics and strategies. Research by Light also shows that game sense approach supports equity and inclusion, allowing all students at CCHS to participate regardless of their gender, ability, or cultural background. This supports engaging meaningfully in learning through modified, accessible games. The game sense approach encourages teamwork, shared decision-making, and tactical play, and therefore increases participation while building confidence and understanding for all students at Coffs Harbour High School. This will support the goal of raising the attendance rate to above 90%. The selected game of End Zone was chosen as a modified invasion game where a team works together to pass a ball into a designated zone to score. This is a simple and dynamic game that has transferable tactics such as space creation, communication, passing under pressure, and defensive positioning. Invasion games all involve gaining territory, scoring in a target area, and team-based offensive and defensive strategies. Examples of invasion include soccer, basketball, netball, AFL, and touch football. End Zone is a highly adaptable game, promoting tactical principles in the sports mentioned previously. This is all relevant to the PDHPE curriculum as students learn how to time their movement, creating passing passages, and working as a team to avoid their opponents. This game suits the demographic and social determinants of physical education at Coffs Harbour High School, as there is no physical contact, can be safely played by both genders, and requires minimal equipment, keeping the financial burden low, aligning with the school's low-income context. The game sense approach will be used to apply learning by encouraging students to reflect on their game tactics and strategies through questioning, peer feedback, and adjusting their strategies when they are not gaining their desired outcome. This supports thorough tactical understanding rather than relying solely on physical ability. Throughout the End Zone game, there have been 3 modifications made to adapt to the context of Coffs Harbour High School students. Modification 1 addresses the gender and cultural inclusion, especially for the students from Muslim or conservative backgrounds. Research has shown that students from diverse backgrounds, although respect the PDHPE program, feel difficulty in engaging in PDHPE related activities due to the mixed gender nature of games and issues with dress code. By modifying these implications and removing the barriers, successful teaching and learning can be achieved. By allowing flexible uniforms, non-contact rule games, and gender separation throughout the lesson, we ensure that all students, regardless of gender or religion, can participate in a comfortable and respectful environment. This modification supports the girls' engagement and attendance in physical activity as an identified priority at Coffs Harbour High School. With the 19% of students stemming from non-English speaking backgrounds at Coffs Harbour High School brings me to modification 2. This modification supports the students from backgrounds other than English, including refugees. Throughout the game, the instruction delivery will be supported by visual instructions and using peer demonstration, reducing the language barrier and understanding gameplay. Research shows that in Australia, levels of participation in physical activity are lower within refugee background communities when compared to the broader population. A recent study examined the physical activity levels among culturally and linguistic diverse communities and found only 1/3 met the current health guidelines for physical activity. It holds a crucial role in fostering a sense of belonging among refugee background communities, with members often seeking opportunities to form friendship. Language and communication is often identified as a barrier for lack of participation. By making these adjustments, an inclusive environment is formed where all students can access and enjoy End Zone, even with limited English speaking skills. Modification 3 addresses the diverse physical abilities and confidence levels of the students at Coffs Harbour High School. With a 70% portion of enrolments from low-income families, many students may not have had the opportunity to participate in weekend or after-school sport, therefore affecting their physical ability and confidence to engage in PDHPE. Students may not feel comfortable due to past trauma, disability, or fitness level to confidently engage in a fast-paced sport. By using multiple roles such as coach, scorekeeper, and equipment manager creates an inclusive environment where all students feel welcomed and valued. When students recognise their engagement does not always need to reflect from their physical ability, participation rates will increase and they can advance at their own pace while contributing to team success. This modification aligns with trauma-informed practice and promotes inclusive participation of all learners with a range of ability levels. To assess the student learning in the End Zone game, the development of a simple, inclusive peer and self-assessment tool has been established. When using the peer and self-assessment method, students are engaging in critical thinking, evaluating performance, promoting self-analysis, enhancing communication skills, and creating accountability. The checklist focuses on the key components of the game's sense approach, including transferable skills, decision-making, and communication. It also supports the Australian curriculum's Understanding Movement strand and the New South Wales outcomes of PD45 and PD55, which focuses on applying strategies to enhance performance. By using short statements, pictures, and emojis, this assessment method is accessible and appropriate for the students with a language background other than English. It also allows for the low literacy learners to participate and engage, making it a suitable approach for Coffs Harbour High School's context. As students reflect on their participation in End Zone and provide peer feedback, they build ownership and accountability over their learning. This aligns with the key propositions of the Australian curriculum, especially the student-centred, strengths-based approach.